We also have multisensory aspects of our body. We have our heart center, which has a brain in it. We know that our heart has a brain inside it. We have brain matter in our heart. That's scientifically real. So we start using our heart to exchange magnetic information. The heart is magnetic, so we can magnetize things. Law of attraction, universal law, right? We can radiate things from our heart, law of radiation. We can send information through the heart, which is going to be energetic, emotional information. We can send information through our third eye, which is going to be visual. We can receive it from them too. We can send and exchange information through this theta brainwave, which is a frequency, just like right now you're all in beta brainwave. Beta is active and alert. No one's fallen asleep in the room? That's good. Yeah.
When your animal is sending you pictures, is it mainly like when you're asleep, when your brain is at rest?
Well, you definitely can get it then. Especially animals who have crossed over, they'll often come to us in our dream time. This is because we're not over-processing. We're not over-analyzing. See, the human world has been trained to over-analyze and over-process through this left brain. And the right side of our brain, which is the feeling, sensing brain that animals are very in tune with, it's the awareness. That part of our brain is more open and receptive when we dream. So very often we'll get information in the dream state. But the purpose of learning animal communication, telepathy, energy healing, sacred energy, doing activations, all the stuff I do, all my psychic development classes, what that's all about is bringing us into that neutral, learning how to clear and develop these parts of our bodies. This part, even the gut has brain matter in it. We know this scientifically. Our gut has brain. So when we're learning to listen to the gut and use the intelligence of our own gut, we get information. We can exchange information with animals then. We can exchange information with one another that way. So when we're developing this stuff, that's how we're getting good. Now let me just say, I'll come to you in just a second. In order for us to get good at animal communication and telepathy, developing our psychic intuitive gifts, which we all have, there's no one who doesn't have a pineal gland and a pituitary gland. There's no one who cannot access the theta brainwave. There's no one who doesn't have a heart with brain matter in there, and you do have to strengthen it, just like you have to do brain, strengthen your brain through using it. If you don't use it, you lose it. So where was I with that? So as we develop, there's no one who doesn't have a gut, who doesn't have brain matter in the gut that we can. There's no one, by the way, your skin is a sensory organ. So empaths are receiving information through the skin from the environment. That's what animals do. They feel and sense the stuff in their environment. And so as they receive that, it's going through the nervous system, and the brain is picking it up. The right brain has an awareness, oh, something's coming in. The left brain tries to label it. Oh, it's stress. Then the body responds, fight and flight, and all that kind of stuff is going on, right? So the system is speaking, and the thing is when we have these channels opened up, we can receive that information with a kind of clarity. Oh, this just happened. I understand. But we all have it, is what I'm saying. We all have the theta. We all have the pituitary. We all have a thymus over here. That's an exchange. This is a major area of exchanging information. When we open up our thymus, we all have our heart center, our gut, and our skin. All of those are the ways we're using to use extrasensory, telepathic, psychic exchange of information with ourselves, with one another, with animals, and with other realms. Make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Apart from dreaming or whatever, but just in an actual moment during the day, like if a bird comes in the room and you want to communicate right then and there, how do you receive their message? Do you close your eyes and breathe it in and just pause, or do you have a message?
Well, there's so many ways, so I don't want to, but I'll give you one way is you can just put yourself in a state of receivership. What does it feel like to you right now to energetically allow yourself to surrender to a state of receivership? So when I'm in a state of receivership and allowing, I just suddenly kind of I'm noticing what happens in my body, what shifts, what changes. You have to become the ultimate observer. It's almost like, see, what humans want to do a lot of times, I find, is we've been trained in this take a pill philosophy. Take a pill and in 2 minutes you're going to get it all. You're going to feel better tonight. And energy healing works like that. It really does. But the thing is the process of undoing, clearing, getting in that sacred neutral, learning, becoming the observer, a compassionate witness, healing all of our wounds of this heavy, dense area, all that is a process. So we have to kind of like unwind, unravel, come into this neutral. Then to do something like that, put yourself in a state of receivership and say, is there anything you'd like to share with me? And then receive. Receive and allow. But I'm oversimplifying it for the purpose of, 2-minute answer.
What do you see?
All right, so I'm happy to do some readings for anybody if you guys want to do that. I would love to tell you some of the things animals have said to me. Like, for example, I got 10 minutes. Awesome, thank you. Not recently, this was like almost 2 years ago, I went to an animal sanctuary. I mean, I've communicated with animals. Let me just say, as far as I know, there's almost not a species I haven't communicated with. No major species. I've communicated with every species that I'm aware of, at least maybe, there's obviously many species I haven't, but species is the wrong word. Every major group is what I mean, like I'm every kind of frog or every kind of toad, but every major group, right? So, and they all have significant things to share, even if sometimes if it's an animal in the wild who just says, I don't want to talk to you. Learn to deal with that. Not interested. That's sometimes what you get, especially from animals in the wild. But I had this one, I went to this, just want to share this story. Two stories I want to share, and then I'm going to look. Two most incredible experiences. I went to this California animal sanctuary, animal sanctuary in New York, CA, Catskills Animal Sanctuary. And I went, and now I donate to them all the time. So I go in there, and I go to connect with this cow. I'm doing energy healing with the cow, vibrational energy healing, and I don't know anything about this cow, nothing. It's just sanctuary. And I put my hands on this cow, and this cow says, he had a tumor, a benign tumor, thankfully. I carry the weight, I'm going to cry when I say it, of all the cows who have ever been slaughtered. This is the weight of this tumor. And I was like, oh my God, and then he said, don't waste your time on me. Go heal one of those other cows. It was so beautiful. This animal touched me so deeply, I couldn't believe it. Anyway, and now I always donate to them, and I do send healing, and I invite them very often to participate in my stuff for, gifted, my healing sessions for animals, gifted. And I donate to lots of animal organizations all around the world. I'm a big believer in tithing. Anyway, nonetheless, I found out after that, when I went to the woman who runs the sanctuary, I tell her, this is what this animal told me. She's like, slaughterhouse was closed. The last two before they closed it. Everyone else was slaughtered. That's amazing, right? All right, I'll tell you one other quick one, and then I'll do any questions you have. I went to Costa Rica once, and I was at this hotel, and I was doing a conference, and the woman who owned the hotel, small little, family-run Costa Rican, it was so cute, and she said, she knew I was an animal communicator, so she brought this baby pig. And because we had like a little language difference, I didn't know that she knew I was an animal communicator. And the first thing I heard from the pig is, where's my mommy? Aww. So I said, where's the mommy? She wants to meet her mommy. Where's her mommy? And she said, those pigs just went to be slaughtered. I said, she wants to say goodbye. So anyway, she can say goodbye. Anyway, you see, these animals are so tuned in. Now, I gotta say something really fast. The worst thing we can do, worst being a judgment word, so please, it's just a language of translation here. The worst thing we can do is feel bad for animals. The best thing we can do is feel good. I always say, if we're not feeling good, if we're not feeling happy, we're part of the problem. So if they're not asking us to feel bad for me, or to have pity for me, or don't even go into that, because I do it too. I'm not saying I'm not perfect to this. I do it too, but they're not asking for, that's the worst thing, because we're actually adding the energy, the vibration of feeling bad. Right. You understand? Yeah. This is why vibrational energy is so important with animals, because if we feel bad, they feel bad. It creates more feeling bad. Yeah. Who watches those commercials on, it's so awful on TV. I don't even watch TV.
I got rid of television years ago.
Yes. And when you turn it off, I'm going to tell you who wants to really make a difference for animals. Not only do you turn it off, talk to the field of consciousness and say, field of consciousness, I command you. Command the field. Bring more compassion to all animals. Don't do it from anger. Just come into that as neutral as you can be. I command, use your power. but not angry, not upset, not sad, not resentful, as neutral as you can. I command you, bring more compassion to all animals in the highest and best and most benevolent ways possible. I command you, instill more compassion and kindness and sovereignty, thank you, to all animals globally. I command you, field. I command you, field. Clean up our water in the highest and best and most benevolent ways possible for the highest and greatest good of all. Make it your mantra. I command you. Let all slaughterhouses start to use ethical, humane, kind, compassionate, caring practices. I command you. The cows aren't even asking not to be fed, not to be eaten. That's not what they're asking. They're just asking, please don't force us to breed. Please don't take our calves away. And please don't stick us with all this crap you're sticking in us. Like these animals are only asking for fair and humane treatment. Command the field. Yes.
How are they not asking to be slaughtered or not eaten if that's the only way sustainably with all the population? That is the only way to be eaten by being breaded or.
How are they not asking for it? Because they
Yeah,
understand that most humans still believe that humans have to eat meat. That's
But
not
they
actually
have to
true.
be born for that. They have to have slaughterhouse. There's too many humans.
Okay, those are all points of view. I totally honor and respect and appreciate those points of view, but they're not truths. Challenge your belief systems. There's not too many humans. That's a belief system of lack and limitation that happens in our world.
To eat
There's
meat,
not-
I'm saying.
That's right, but we're also not required to eat meat. We just
Correct.
believe that. We're programmed and wired into believing that we have to eat that. And so people actually believe that. Do you understand that over here there are people who are breatharians?
Yes.
And there are people over here who are sun gazers? And there's people over here who are juicarians? It is not a requirement for survival,
I
but
truly
people
believe
don't know that.
I don't eat meat, but I'm saying how are the cows, or you just said they're not asking not to be.
Because what they're doing is they're trying to work with the consciousness of humanity. And so you talk about farm animals, for example, part of what their role is to help humans learn compassion. So they understand that's part of their divine mission. So they are willing to be eaten so that humans can learn compassion and care. I say, let's instill compassion and care into the quantum field. Let's command the field of intelligence to provide more compassion and care to all beings, especially those who are lacking compassion. Let's tell the field, send that person compassion. Send all slaughterhouse people compassion. Send them as much compassion as you possibly can. Tell the field, because compassion itself is conscious. Everything is conscious. So you tell the field to do something and it goes and does it. It responds. It's just humans don't know that over here. They're not using their multidimensional awareness. They haven't even opened this stuff up. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I promised here. So what is your dog's name?
Snoopy.
Snoopy?
He's 11-year-old now. I'm worried about him.
Okay, I'm going to tell you what to do. First of all, there's nothing to be worried about, but something to do with the traveling. Doesn't always like the comings and the goings and the moving about. You're traveling?
Sometimes, 2-3 times a year.
We just cleaned out some density there, some heavy energy, just about your fear. Nothing to be afraid of. Let me tell you how to keep your dogs alive as long as you can. You want to know? Dogs, cats?
Yes.
This is how you keep, and your loved ones, parents. Every time you think of them, you say, to whatever ability I have, I intend that my name of human, name of animal, live as long, strong, happy, healthy, and well as they possibly can for their highest and best good and the highest and best of all concerned. So be it. So when you put fear and worry into the field of consciousness, the field of consciousness says, oh, fear and worry. Stirs up some fear and worry, gives you things to be fearful about, worry about. Your animal feels it. The animal goes, oh, this is what she's playing with. Okay, now I'm going to feel that fear and worry. And that makes the body sick, right? Lower energies, lower vibrations make the body sick, right?
Can you repeat that?
So,
Can you repeat it again?
what did I just say?
I intend
I intend
to whatever ability.
to whatever extent I have the power to do so, that my animal companion lives as long, strong, happy, and healthy as she possibly can, in the highest and best and most benevolent ways possible, for my highest and greatest good, his highest and greatest good, his, her, and the highest and best of all concerned. Live by the law of the highest and best of all concerned, and you will find how that changes your life and transforms your life in the highest and best ways possible.